Okay, let's have a look at the red-white deck that I drafted in my first round. It was made because I pulled a Bassandra Battle Sarah first. So it was just, yeah, I thought it was worth doing. A 5-drop for a 4/4 flyer. And it stops people casting spells from combat. I just thought it was really, really nice. So I went for that, and then we formed this deck. So let's have a look through, and we'll go via the mana curve. So the only artifact that I had in the deck, or the only 1-drop artifact I had in the deck, is the Explorer's Scope, which lets you go land searching when a creature attacks. So I thought that was a really, really good kind of land search system for a 1-drop and 1 to equip. Really useful. Then I had 2 Flowstone Blades because I needed enchantments. I'll show you why in a second. Then we've got Doom Travel, which is cheap 1-drop 1/1 that then dies and turns into a 1/1 flyer. And if I've said it before, I'll say it a million times. When you're drafting, flying is always an issue. We'll come to that later. Stave Off, nice little protection instant 1-drop. I thought it's worth having in there for tight situations. Then a Cinder Wall. Alright, it only lasts the once, but it's a 3/3 for a 1-drop. If you get that out first turn, you know you've got a good bit of defense there. You can deal with most things. Moment of Heroism. Or Heroism. Target creature +2/+2 and gains life leading turn to turn. That's a lovely little 2-drop instant. Really, really useful. Power of Fire. It's another enchantment that I needed to make some of the deck work in a minute. Then the Rioto Lantern, which means that you can put a card from your discard pile into your draw deck. I would really recommend a lot of recycling of discard decks in Conspiracy because it's really quick to get through, especially with all of the the searching ability that people do, and the thing where you take 1 card from the top and show it, and if it's a land or not a land, they get certain things for it. Really, really cool effect, but it gets through your deck really quickly. Then we have 4 Grenzo's Cutthroats. Really nice because they're a 2-drop for a 1/1 with First Strike and Dethrone. Dethrone, brilliant mechanic. I will talk about Dethrone later on. It's amazing. I love this. And 4 of these mixed with something else that I've got up my sleeve. I'll show you in a second. Make life really, really interesting in this deck. Then we've got a red-white 2-drop Flame Right. Tap it, put on a colourless construct artifact creature, and then that's got Defender, and then you can tap it again next turn and you deal 1 damage to target player or creature. That's a really nice little kind of removal, or finally pinging off that 1 last defense from a big guy. 2 Ajani Sunstrikers. I know it's a double white drop in a dual colour, but they're worth it. A 2/2 with lifelink. I got them out. They were quite handy to keep me going in the first throws of the game. And then we move on to the 3-drops. 2 Flaring Flamekins. This is what I wanted the enchantments for. When they're enchanted, they get a +2/+2 and trample, and they have pay 1 red mana. Flying Flamekin gets +1/+0 turn to turn. That is just ridiculously rampy. And then when you've got something like Flowstone, which gives you +1, -1 till end of turn, it's just kind of a bit... Yeah, they're a bit redundant, but I just needed the enchantments to go on and make them work. Then we've got the Apex Hawk. Just got the 1 in there, but I wanted the flying, and it's a multi-kicker, so early game, you've got a 3-drop, 2/2 flyer, or late game, you might have a 4/4 flyer. Not bad. Right, Guardian of the Zendikon. This was very useful. Turns a land into a 2/6 wall, and then when it dies, you get the land back into your hand. What's wrong with that? For a 3-drop, I think that's fucking awesome, and it's still a land as well. So that was quite useful when someone board white or I had to destroy a creature, so I got rid of that wall creature, and then the land came back to me. So that was quite handy. Then we move up the mana curve into my 4-drop, Uncontrollable Anger. That's another enchantment that flashes in, and the creature gets +2/+2 to work on the Flaring Flamekin, but also any creature I could have dropped that on would have been lovely to kill. Then we've got the 2 Bassandra Battle Seraph. That's what the deck was made around. I mean, 5-drop for a 4/4 with flying and stopping spells during combat. That's just no fog, no instants, nothing. It's brilliant. And then last of all, my other bomb was my 7-drop Bolduar Intimidator, which is the guy who makes cowards and warriors. Really, really fun card. 7-drop for a 5/5, and then he's got all these funky effects, so worth getting out. Now, land-wise, I only went for 15 land, 7 red, 7 white, which actually worked quite well for me. And I had 1 uncommon land, which is the Mirrodin's Core, and that's the either you can make colourless from it, or you can put charge counters on it, and when you take them off, you get of any colour you want, and I thought that was quite handy, very useful. Then we're on to Conspiracies, and with my Conspiracies, the only one that I used was Mizo's Preparations, which is the one that when you name a creature before the game and it comes out during the game, you can reveal this, and then all those creatures get +1/+1 when they're played. Now, I played that with Grenzo's Cutthroats, so they instantly came out onto the table as 2/2s with first strike. First time you swing with them, they become 3/3s before any kind of combat. That's disgusting. It's a 2-drop for a 3/3 with first strike. I loved it. Really, really enjoyed playing it. It came down to one turn, and there was someone crowned because someone was playing the when this creature attack, all opponents lose 2 life. So, yeah, that was my red-white deck. I'll now hand you over to Chris, and he'll take you through his deck.